A little while back, I reacted to the Black Adam trailer, and I was a little less than excited. I think the trailer did a poor job at explaining what the movie was, and it sort of made me less excited for it. So, I haven't seen it yet. I can't talk about the quality of the movie. But since the movie has come out and people have had a chance to see it, it has raised a very interesting question, and that is about reviews. Now, typically in the past, when a movie doesn't do too well, and when I say the past, I mean over the past, say, 24 to 36 months, it's met with directors and staff criticizing the viewers, calling them ists and phobes and all sorts of things, and trying to come up with a reason why it's not their fault and that the viewers are the ones wrong and are refusing to watch the movie for bad reasons, and they are still good people who made a great movie. It's the biggest denial cope you'll ever see. And this happens in video games, books, comic books, and movies, and just in general pop culture these days. It's a very common thing to read. And generally speaking, like I said, these creators blame the viewers, and they generally have a good reason why. Well, it's not a good reason. They have a reason why. Like I said, it's normally that it's sexism or racism or phobias of sorts. You know, the narrative is strong enough that the average, two-cell organism going down the street, and apologies to snails out there who have two brain cells, but the average, Humpty Dumpty going down the street actually sees the headline and agrees. And they go, oh no, this movie is great, and it's the people who are wrong. Black Adam is an interesting take on this because the movie's out. People have seen it. Critics hate it. 39% on Rotten Tomatoes right now with 217 critic reviews. However, 90% audience score. And the strange thing is, this isn't exactly a innocent, perfect movie. It has done some race swapping and, its own share of diversity stuff, but no one seems to care because they're not pushing that on the audience. They're just going, yeah, here's a movie, here's a cast, have fun. It's gonna be good. And The Rock generally makes like silly fun movies. They're not like gonna change the world or anything, but they're just fun. And he's a very charismatic character, and he's got a great screen presence. I personally loved him in Walking Tall. Yeah, so it raises this precedence as to what now, because you've got this giant, similar to it's that flop of say like the Lord of the Rings Amazon show where the viewers hate it and the critics were like, oh no, it's great, and Amazon are deleting reviews, etc. Except in this case the audience love it, and it does tick off all those boxes in terms of diversity, etc., and all that gross stuff that makes creative works not creative and is a cancer amongst everything. And the critics are hating on it, and yet the viewers love it. And it makes me question, well, what's the point of critics these days? Does anyone take what they read seriously? Is anyone out here actually know the name of a movie critic and they actually listen to them? Other than like YouTube personalities? Because like these traditional media critics who tell you that you're a bad person because you didn't go and watch Charlie's Angels or that Ocean's 11 remake with Sandra Bullock, they're the ones now telling you not to watch Black Adam, despite the fact that 2,500 plus viewers say it's great. And it's also the biggest opening box office of any Dwayne Johnson movie, and it's also one of the biggest DC Comics movies that have ever come out. So, I mean, I'm thinking about this from the perspective of any other industry. If I was in shares, right, and I said, and I had rich clients who relied on my advice, and I said, don't buy shares in Black Adam, it's terrible, and then Black Adam went up 90%, I'd lose my job because I was so incredibly wrong, because I was terrible at my job, that no one would take what I say seriously anymore, and I just wouldn't be able to get new clients. If I was a food critic and I said, don't eat here, the food's terrible, and yet that restaurant then goes and gets a Michelin star, people would go, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. And yet we see again and 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 again movie critics saying that terrible movies are amazing, and amazing, well, I don't know if it's amazing, I haven't seen it, but movies people like are terrible. And there seems to be this massive disconnect, and it's happening over and over and over again. And I think Black Adam is the one movie where they can't play the Easternism card, because it's a very diverse cast full of many, many people from various places in the world. But at the same time, the audience and the critics are split on this one too. And you have to question, well, what's the problem? Why is it that these professional critics who, that's essentially admit it, they're designed to push political narratives for the companies that are, and their investors in those companies. What excuse do they have now? Black Adam kind of stops that from happening. It's very interesting. And I'm very curious what they're going to say about this, because the movie's huge. It's basically reset the DC cinematic universe because of how successful it is. And it's only just the opening weekend. And as word of mouth gets out and people stop, they go, oh, the critic. And then your friend's like, no, trust me, go see it. It was good. And once again, I haven't seen it. I don't know if it'll be good or not. But I think for the most part, maybe this is the start of like a door opening, and critics actually having to, stop the pandering to companies and give actual honest reviews. But that's just my thoughts. I'm very, very curious to see what the Black Adam review scores and box office numbers have to say about, or how they'll impact future movie scores, etc., even with regular Joes, and how they see this stuff. And especially with big movies like Avatar, the Way of Water, coming out this December. The critics are going to pan that movie. And I'm very curious to see that as well, because I think they're running out of excuses, and I don't think they have much of a leg left to stand on. But anyway, that's all I want to say. I'm very interested by the outcome of Black Adam and its reviews. What do you guys think? Is this the start of something? You reckon? Is this the movie? It's The Rock. It's so mainstream that. Is this the movie that's going to make people wake up and realize they're being played for the last few years, and that some movie reviewers are actually going to start being held accountable for their reviews, or do you think nothing's going to tell me what you think? I'm very curious to see where this goes.